Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the fourth episode of my knitting podcast, and if you are new, my name is Sari and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about some of my knitting projects. First of all, this sweater I'm wearing, and also this hat project. It doesn't look like a hat yet, but I will tell you more about it later. First, about this sweater. This was part of Karen Templar's top-down pullover knit-along from 2.5 years ago already. It was the first KAL knit-along that I ever took part of, and it was hosted by Karen Templar, as I said, on her Fringe Association blog. So it was one of her Fringe and Friends knit-alongs that she has hosted already a couple of. And in 2016 the theme was to knit or improvise your own top-down pullover, and I think it was the first time that I designed a pullover from top down. It wasn't the first pullover that I designed, but or it wasn't the first time I knitted a pullover from top down. I had done both of those things already earlier, but I had never designed one myself, so it was a first for me. Luckily, Karen Templar posted really good instructions on her blog, and if you want to see them, just Google Karen Templar's name and Improv sweater, and you will find her instructions. They are very well written, very easy to follow, so I have no doubt that you can't make your own top-down pullover whether or not you have knitted them before. So this was my design for that knit along. This cable pattern on the front, I saw it on Pinterest and I really liked it and I wanted to use it, so I took pen and paper and started tracing it, trying to figure out how the cables go, and this is the design that I came up with. Also, I wanted a very wide neck, so it has this boat neck. It's a bit different from Karen Templar's Improv pattern in that sense that it doesn't have any neck drop. It's just like this, straight from the collar down. It has this folded collar, so I started it with a provisional cast on and then knitted the collar, folded it double and joined it together to form a bit thicker and sturdier collar for this one. Also, it has the raglan shaping and a lot of reverse stockinette stitch, so a lot of purling. The whole back, you can't see it now as I'm sitting here, but the whole back and the sleeves are just reverse stockinette all over, and this cable pattern is here on the front. I really liked knitting this, and the whole knit along was so inspiring. I think I already mentioned that it was the first knit along I ever took part of, and I was really amazed by the whole Instagram knitting community and how well we rooted for each other, and all the amazing knits that everybody knit during that knit along. And ever since that knit along, people have been asking me for this pattern, and finally I have written it down. Actually, when I was knitting it, I made very good notes for myself, so it wasn't that hard to write it down, but the problem came when I started to grade it. That means make bigger sizes of it, and smaller sizes. So I had difficulties with this cable pattern and how it should end here at the sides. Also, the bottom ribbing of this sweater, I didn't really like the way I designed it at first. It had this split hem and the back was slightly longer than the front, and also on the front ribbing there was these sequences of cables, and it didn't really flatter me or fit me very well, and also the front was flaring a bit and I didn't like it. So a few weeks ago I took it apart and decided to do just normal 2x2 ribbing to the bottom as well, like on the sleeves and here at the top. And I think I like it much more. I have worn this a lot more ever since I changed that bottom ribbing, and that's actually something I really like about knitting, that if you compare it to sewing, then you have to cut the cloth, and once you have cut it, then it's kind of damaged in a way that, so that if you cut it wrong, then you can't really do anything about it. But knitting, you can always rip it back, you can always redo it, you can undo a whole finished sweater and do a completely another design of it if you want to. You can even unravel many years old knitwear and repurpose the yarn, and I really like that thing about knitting. I think it's really cool. So you can reuse the yarn for something else. So here with this design I could do the bottom hem again, as I didn't really like it the first time. So like I said, the pattern is almost ready, not quite ready yet. The only thing I still have that is missing, I still have to calculate how much yarn each size requires. So when you are knitting it, you know how much yarn you should buy beforehand, and not having to go to the yarn shop every now and then to get a new one. So that's the only thing that is still missing from the pattern. However, I'm already starting to look for test knitters for this one. The sizes will go from the smallest is extra small XS until 2XL. So if you want to test knit this, send me a message and I will get back to you about the test knitting. This was knitted in cotton yarn. It's sport weight with 3mm needles, and I think it was drops saffron that I used for it, and the color is off-white. So either cotton yarn or whatever you want to use. I kinda like it that it's cotton, because now I can wash it in the machine. Cotton can be washed in 60 degrees Celsius, and I have done it to this sweater already a couple of times and it still looks very good. So as a mother to a 2.5 years old boy, being able to wash white sweaters in the washing machine is a really good thing, because he has the tendency of getting everything I wear messy, you know, messy hands, muddy hands, chocolate all over his mouth when he wants to kiss me and so on. So cotton and being able to wash it in machine is actually, it's a really good alternative. However, I think it would look gorgeous in wool as well, and maybe even some silk blends would look amazing with the sheen. So, if you would like to test knit this, I'm going to add a call for test knitters to Instagram and on my blog very soon. But if you already know you want to do this, then send me a line and I will get back to you as soon as I have finished the design. And one more thing I almost forgot. This sweater is called Narwhal, and I don't know where I came up with the idea, but I think these kind of look like the tusks of the narwhal, and also I was inspired by the old fisherman sweaters, so this reminds me of the sea and also this bone white color. So I think narwhal is a very fitting name for this sweater, and I can't really think anything else that would describe it better. Here I will show you this bottom rib. So it looks like this at the moment here, and from the back just simple reverse stockinette. Here's the whole sweater, as you can see. I was also going to tell you about the hat design. In my last episode, the episode number 3, at the very end I showed you this pink yarn. It was from Kässäkerho Pom Pom and it's their merino single base, and this colorway is called Kurtturuusu. It's the Finnish name for, I looked it up, it's the Japanese rose or the beach rose. The Latin name is Rosa rugosa, and it's a very delicious hot pink color and I really like it. And I told you I was going to knit top-down hat, and probably if you have ever knitted things top-down, like top-down sweaters or other stuff, you know that it's easier to try on the fit, so you can try on the yoke beforehand and then decide the length of the sleeves and the length of the whole body. And the same way with a hat, when you knit it top down, like I have done here, it is easier to test the length, because I told in the last episode that I have hard time to know when to start decreasing for the crown, and then the whole fit of the hat goes off. If it's too short, then it doesn't fit very well here, and if it's too long, then, well, I'm not really that into the slouchy look, so I rather want like very well fitting hats. So I have been knitting this little hat with 2x2 ribbing, and I started it here from the middle with the magic ring cast on, and then just started increasing. So instead of decreasing for the crown, I have started to increase, and at the moment this is this like just a funny little circle, but once I start knitting it straight down, it starts to look more like a hat, and then I can try it on as I go to see the perfect length for it. And the inspiration for this is from all the brioche knits that I have seen on Instagram and on Pinterest, and I really like the two-color brioche knitting. However, I have yet to try that technique. That's like the next thing that I want to learn. But I really like how the decreases and increases go with the brioche knitting, so I wanted to kind of copy that look, but without the two-color brioche. So this is just simple 2x2 ribbing, but I can show you a little bit closer so you can see how the increases look here. So I really like how they go. It's a bit different here, probably the best view. So this is what I've been working on. The yarn is quite light. This is fingering weight, and also I'm knitting with very small needles, so this is not something that you can make in one night, so it's a longer project, but I always keep reminding myself that I knit because I like knitting and not because I want stuff to be done quickly. If I would like that, then I should go to the shop and buy something instead of trying to make it myself. And also I kind of enjoy having these portable projects, like smaller projects that I can have in my handbag, especially now that the weather outside is better and we are going to the park with my son a lot more. So having these small projects that I can take with me and knit by the sandbox is great. But I will show you one more thing that I have done. It's not finished yet, but it's like I said about this one, this is not something you will finish in one night, but this one is. This is knitted with leftover tuku wool fingering in 4 colors, and I was so inspired by tuku wool's brown fade Mon Manette sweater that I saw on Instagram that I wanted to knit something similar myself. However, I didn't want to start making a whole sweater, so instead I made this little, is it pouch or a clutch? Today I went to buy a zipper for it, and also I have this black linen cloth that I will make the lining with. So it's going to have a black lining, and then the zipper. So it can be like a little project bag or maybe a handbag. I haven't decided yet, but this I made in just less than one night. It was really quick. I knitted this stockinette side facing outwards, so it's just simple stockinette stitch all the way around, and I held the yarn double all the way, so it's like this. But I think the fade looks better on this pearl side, so I'm going to turn it around and use it like this. I was thinking about writing the pattern for this one as well, so if you are interested in that, I will show you more when this is finished. And the pattern is so simple that I don't think it will take me many days to write it down once I have done all the sewing. But this is, like I said, 4 colors of Tuku wool, and it's Raku here at the bottom, and then Auri and Humu, and lastly at the top there is Sake, the white color, or off-white color. And I really enjoyed this. I'm already thinking about what to knit next. I was thinking about making another one, so I should go and take a little look through my stash and find 4 or more colors that I can use for this fade and make another little bag for myself. Thank you for watching this episode, and send me a message if you are interested in testing the Narwhal sweater. The official call for test knitters will come in a day or 2 as soon as I have finished the pattern, and you can keep tabs on Instagram to hear more about it. My Instagram is Sari, the underline, I don't know what it's called, and N, and then the underline again, so you can find me with that name. I think that's everything I have today, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and see you again soon.